Welcome back, Cubs. Dire Wolf here. I'm sure you recognize the four faces behind me. These individuals posted a horrendous hate crime live on Facebook, and many of you guys have seen the video. I will not be showing the original video for two reasons. First, because YouTube has been taking it down, and second, because I'm sure many of you have already seen it, and I find it too disturbing and unnecessary to show again. These sickeningly hateful individuals lured a mentally handicapped white young man to their house to torture and to belittle. The young man who was kidnapped believed he was going to have a sleepover with a friend, but instead he was tied up, gagged, cut, tortured, beat up, and forced to drink toilet water. All of this and more broadcasted live on Facebook. And the justification for these evil actions, from the words of the perpetrators themselves, was that they hated white people and they hated President-elect Trump. The young man that they were torturing had no more choice over his skin color than the perpetrators who were beating him. Nor was he even able to vote for Trump, but it didn't matter. They wanted to punish someone. They had so much hate and so much vitriol in their minds that they would have punished anyone, and they actually enjoyed, they laughed, they smiled while beating and torturing this young man. These are the faces of psychopathic evil. No matter what political influences were going on in their lives, no matter what a politician says, and no matter what a civic leader says, these actions and these crimes were their own. I will address the loud voices that spread division and hatred in our society. They have their own crimes. But these four individuals, no matter what influences, they made the choice to harm another person. An innocent, mentally handicapped person who viewed them as friends. Here's what the Chicago Chief of Police had to say at a press conference today.
Yesterday, video of a brutal act towards an adult male with mental health challenges made its way onto social media. The images in the video put on display the brazenness of the offenders who assaulted the victim and then broadcast it for the entire world to see. Thanks to the outstanding work of 11 district police officers and area north detectives, all four offenders from the incident are in police custody and awaiting formal charges. The victim, who is not a Chicago resident, is currently recovering from the incident. I've said time and time again that if you commit an act of violence in the city of Chicago, you will feel the full weight of the Chicago Police Department, and tonight, four individuals have experienced the consequences of their actions.
And communicated with the suburb where the subject was missing from. After his treatment at the hospital, he was released, and his parents came into Area North Detective Division. All four offenders, two female adults, two male adults, three of which are Chicago residents. One is from Carpentersville, have given videotape statements, and currently the Cook County State's Attorney's Office is at Area North interviewing the victim and his family, and we anticipate charges in the next 24 hours.
So do you know how the individual got to be down in Chicago?
He is an acquaintance of one of these subjects, and apparently they met out in the suburbs. These subjects then stole a van out in the suburbs and brought him into Chicago.
So he was kidnapped out in the suburbs?
We're still talking to the victim. It's quite a possibility it is a kidnapping, and that's certainly one of the charges we'll be seeking if it turns out to be that. But he's traumatized by the incident, and it's very tough to communicate with him at this point.
Commander, was he drugged or he appears inebriated? There's a second video where he clearly does not appear to be, like you said, he's disturbed. Is there any connection that he was possibly injected with something, or was he under the influence of something?
We don't believe, he hasn't said he's under the influence of anything. I mean, obviously there were medical tests done at the hospital. Toxology will take a few weeks.
Was there some drug connection that brought him in connection with this other individual he knew out in the suburb?
No.
Do you know how long he's with these individuals?
It appears at least 24 hours. We're thinking as long as maybe 48 hours.
Was there a missing person report filed in those suburbs?
Yes, there was.
Superintendent, do you think that this rises to the level of a hate crime?
We're still investigating it, and if the facts guide us to that in that direction, then we'll certainly charge them appropriately.
No reasonable person could watch this video and come to the conclusion that this is anything other than a hate crime. There is no question that this young man was beat and tortured because he was white.
Can you give us your reaction to just seeing this video and what happened on this?
Have you seen the video? It's sickening. It's sickening. You know, it makes you wonder what would make individuals treat somebody like that. You know, so I've been a cop for 28 years, and I've seen things that you shouldn't see in a lifetime, but it still amazes me how you still see things that you just shouldn't. So I'm not going to say it shocked me, but it was sickening.
I know we heard a lot of things said in the video, directed towards white people, directed towards Donald Trump. What's the reason for this? Have you, in questioning, been able to determine anything?
You know, although they are adults, they're 18. Kids make stupid decisions. I shouldn't call them kids, they're legally adults, but they're young adults and they make stupid decisions. That certainly will be part of whether or not a hate crime is, if we seek a hate crime, to determine whether or not this is sincere or just stupid ranting and raving.
And here lies the regressive left's narrative of this incident. These racists were not racist. They did not commit a hate crime.
Stupid ranting and raving.
They were just ranting and raving, being kids, tying people up, making them drink toilet water, cutting people's heads, you know, like usual kid stuff. Sure, they said fuck white people and fuck Trump over and over and over again, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with their motive for torturing this guy for 48 hours. If the roles were reversed and these were 4 white people torturing a mentally handicapped black guy, they would be calling racism right away. These are the same people who called racism when a black man robbed a store and then attacked a cop and was shot while beating and trying to take the firearm from the cop who shot him. The same news source that takes any instance of a cop or a white guy hurting a black person as being a sign of racism without considering any of the context or any of the evidence, they immediately blast out to the world that this is a racist action before ever looking at the evidence. Because they advertise non-racist situations as being racist, people believe they are racist even when the evidence comes out to show it was not. And the people who believe those lies are bound to develop a distrust and hatred for the people they believe that are attacking people like them. Those news sources that are spreading those lies and immediately jump to racism in any situation where whites are hurting blacks are completely ignoring a situation that is an obvious black racist group attacking a white person because he is white. In this situation, there is obvious, objective proof that they are racist, and they are already spinning a narrative that this is just kids being kids. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. That's not how kids behave. This is how evil psychopaths behave that have been indoctrinated with a hatred of white people.
I mean, at the end of the day, you just try to wrap your head around evil. That's what this is. It's evil, it's brutality, it's man's inhumanity to man, and
I don't think it's evil. I don't think it's evil. I think these are young people, and I think they have bad home training.
It's unfathomable that so much hate and anger can fill up a person where they go out and they think that this is okay. And then it was stupid to do it on Facebook Live, but that's a whole nother story. So this is absolutely sickening, but I'm going to say something that's probably not very popular. We cannot callously go about classifying things as a hate crime. Motive here matters. So was this for hate of Donald Trump, the president-elect, because of things that he has said, or was this for pure hate of white people? That matters, because if we start going around and anytime someone says something or does something really egregious, really bad and sickening in this instance in connection with the president-elect or Donald Trump, or even President Obama for that matter, because of their political leanings, that is slippery territory. That is not a hate crime. Hate crimes are because of a person's racial ethnicity. Donald Trump.
The This refusal to accept that black people can be racist or should be held accountable for their actions is because it does not fit their narrative that white people are in power and are oppressive and are the only ones who can be racist, and that black people are the minority and they are the oppressed that hold no power and cannot be racist. This is a narrative that is echoed by black supremacists, intersectional feminists, and social justice warriors. Other news agencies and publications are already reporting the same narrative, that these people are not racists. And this is because they believe that black people cannot be racist.
Racism presupposes the ability to control a significant segment of the population economically, politically, and socially by imposing law, covenant, and restriction on their lives. Black people ain't had no capacity to do that. Can we be bigoted? Yes. Can we be prejudiced? Yes. Racist? No.
BuzzFeed would have you believe if I asked a black person where they are from, that I am racist. But if that same black person kidnaps me, cuts my scalp, makes me walk around on my hands and knees, forces me to say fuck white people, fuck Trump, makes me drink toilet water, and beats me, that they are just being young adults. Get this straight. Anyone can be racist towards any race. Black people can be and have been and will in the future be racist, just like some white people have been in the past and will be in the future racist. Treat each individual on their own merits. These 4 individuals are horrible, disgusting racists. Those who are trying to discount or downplay the racist actions of these individuals are doing a massive disservice to our culture. And you in the news media who have been spreading hatred and who have been demonizing and dehumanizing white people are partly to blame. My very first video was on political discourse. Everyone needs to stop demonizing and dehumanizing people who are of the opposite opinion. Stop demonizing and dehumanizing people of a different race, a different creed, a different gender. You're only hurting all of us. It is irrational for a MGTOW to say that all women are evil. It is divisive for any feminist to say that all men are evil rapists. And it is dishonest doublethink to say that any race cannot be racist. We need to stop demonizing, dehumanizing, and dividing each other. And don't let those elites that control our news media divide us any further than we already are. And lastly, punish crimes equally despite the race of the perpetrator and the victim. I say these pieces of shit should be charged with hate crimes. If you agree with me, please say so in the comments. Direwolf out.